Riot on the Western Front, the greatest war novel of all times by Erich Maria Remarque. As a dedication, it's written right in the beginning. This book is to be neither an accusation nor a confession, and least of all an adventure, for death is not an adventure to those who stand face to face with it. It will try simply to tell of a generation of men who, even though they may have escaped shells, were destroyed by the war. This is the testament of Paul Boehmer, who enlists with his classmates in the German army of World War I. These young men become enthusiastic soldiers, but their world of duty, culture, and progress breaks into pieces under the first bombardment in the trenches. Through years of vivid horror, Paul holds fast to a single vow to fight against the hatred that meaninglessly pits young men of the same generation but different uniforms against one another, if only he can come out of the war alive. See if you can read. It's written, I'm too young. I'm 20 years old, yet I know nothing of life but despair, death, fear, and fatuous superficiality cast over an abyss of sorrow. The world has a great writer in Erich Maria Remarque. He is a craftsman of unquestionably first rank, a man who can bend language to his will, whether he writes of men or inanimate nature. His touch is sensitive, firm, and sure, writes the New York Times book review. Well, the ISBN number 978-0-449-21394-0. Look at the poignant end, the last page. He fell in October 1918 on a day that was so quiet and still on the whole front that the army report confined itself to the single sentence, all quiet on the Western Front. He had fallen forward and lay on the earth as though sleeping. Turning him over, one saw that he could not have suffered long. His face had an expression of calm, as though almost glad that the end had come. So something about the author. He was himself in combat during World War I and was wounded 5 times, the last time very severely. During the post-war years, he taught briefly, became a stone cutter in the cemetery of Osnabrück, where he had been born in 1898, and served as an assistant editor of Sports Bild. Remarque came to the US in 1939 and remained for the duration of World War II, but returned to Switzerland afterwards. All quiet on the Western Front made him rich and world famous at 33, but these consequences did not still his intense determination to concentrate in his fiction upon the worst horrors of the age, war, and inhumanity with which nearly all of his 9 subsequent novels have been concerned. Fawcett published Remarque's Bobby Deerfield in 1978. The publishers are the Ballantine Books, New York, and the book has been translated from the German by A.W. Heen. All Quiet on the Western Front by Erich Maria Remarque. Very interesting read.